Hey guys, Ryan DeMent here from TruVest. Hope you guys are having a great week. I know it's been a few days. I'm back at it again. Going to go back out on the road. This week's going to be a little bit shorter, and I want to talk about some struggles as an entrepreneur that we've been going through, me personally. And then I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple that we've been working with since February that have come through some tremendous hurdles to be able to go from being renters to where now they're ready to be home buyers and homeowners because they've worked through the credit challenges and obstacles that they had in front of them. A little teaser on that, and then I'll be shooting a video with them when I'm out in Indiana to talk about their story and then share it with you guys. So let's get right to it. Struggles, entrepreneur. Man, it's a shitload of stuff, but guess what? You got to get through it. But the biggest thing that I'm learning in this process, our company is, a little over 4 years old, and I've only been working at it full time for, close to 2 years. So it's a challenge in the sense of all the different obstacles that I have to go through. And some of the obstacles that we've gone through is growing pains. And I know this is nothing new, but you're at a point in your business where we were at several months ago to where we were either going to fail or we were going to explode and just go crazy. Well, that kind of teeter-tottered and went back and forth, and we would fall back and then fall to the middle and then fall forward and then fall back. We did that 4 or 5 times, and I'm telling you, there was not a day that didn't go by that I was like, my God, let me just pack up my shit and let's go. I can't do this anymore. But the things that motivated me and the things that kept me going is the core group of people that we have within TruVest. We're in the process of acquiring Versatile Home, which is a construction company, which is Josh Kimmel's company. And one of the biggest things that's keeping me going is his perseverance and his crew's perseverance to get us to where we need to be. They do all our rehabs. They're going to be doing all our brand new builds. And we have some great business opportunities to do some additional rehabs with some other investors, property preservation. We also have property management ability and then just great handyman work. But Josh has taken his company from a very small niche and now has expanded out. And now we're at that point to where we have to find that niche and that expansion and how it works. And not just TruVest challenges, but now I've got versatile challenges that we've got to work through to integrate them. And ultimately, that's going to be called True Home. And True Home is going to be our building arm and our construction arm. So, and our rehab arm. So that's a little bit of the background. But the struggle for me is, how do I balance marketing? How do I balance operations? How do I balance out cash flow needs? How do I balance out transactions? And the other piece is scale. All those 5 things are really just beating on me on a daily basis. And there's times where it's taken me to my knees. And I just, like I said earlier, I wanted to just pack up my bags and say, fuck this and let's go. But at the end of the day, there's not much else I can actually do other than to continue to track forward. And I know that's tough in life. I know it is because I'm experiencing it and I feel it on a daily basis. But one of the things that, whether you're an entrepreneur or this is in your personal life, you can't force things to work. There's got to be some patience in there to where you can actually work within what you have to get you there. It might not be the track that you're looking for, but ultimately it gets you to where you want to go. It's not a path always of least resistance. It's a path of who has the most perseverance and the ability to fight through. And that is one of those big things that I'm trying to push through on myself. And also the individuals that we're working with, especially first-time homebuyers that have some credit hurdles that don't believe they can actually get through their challenges. They think it's unrealistic and too painful. And that's why I'm kind of shooting this video today and being able to share that. And I'm going to get into more details with some subsequent videos, but this one's kind of just a high level of there are struggles. Even though you guys don't see them, there's struggles on a daily basis for me on everything that I'm doing within TruVest, True Home. It translates to my personal life too. So I have to make sure that I'm on top of everything. And sometimes, yes, it falls apart. But guess what? I got to pick it back up and go. Otherwise, everything falls apart. And that's kind of just life in general. If you don't actually pick everything up and want to go through it, it's a little bit harder to say that I want to stick in this vortex or put my head in the sand, because putting my head in the sand isn't going to solve anything. But at the same time, if I actually take my head out of the sand and say, okay, I'm going to face these things head on, there's a thing called triage. You know, what's bleeding the most? Take it step by step. Don't overwhelm yourself. Figure out what you need to fix first and then go after it. But the other thing that you got to worry about, or the thing that you got to think about, don't be afraid to ask for help. There's plenty of people out there to help you. Use the resources that you have, because at the end of the day, you're only as strong as that core group around you. And that's what keeps me going with TruVest, is the core group of people that support me on a daily basis to be able to get us to where we're going. And during that time, you truly figure out who those people are and what they actually can do, but also they've got your back and you know that you can get help when you need it. So stay tuned. All right, guys, this couple I'm talking about, they've been working with us since February. And let me tell you this, we didn't do a lot of work at all. We just pointed them in the right direction. They came in, they had pretty low credit scores. The scores were not great. They've been wanting to buy a house. They didn't know where to go, but were motivated. And they did not want to stop. They wanted to continue to move forward. And they stayed in contact with me from the very first time they got to see us in February when we did a PR launch in Evansville. And the mayor and everybody was out there. And from that point on, they've actually been taking steps to get themselves in the place that they need to be. Yes, I know it's February to July. Okay, 4 or 5 months. That's not a lot of time compared to the amount of time that you could be in a home. And one of the things that they had already started, which they knew, but most people don't know in this situation, is your credit score. Go pull your credit score for free. Freecreditreport.com. You can do it. Start there. Figure out what's on your credit bureau, and then you can start saying, okay, what do I need to do to get myself in a place to where I can buy a home? Reach out for help. And that's what they did. They reached out to help to us. We pointed them in the direction of Hope of Evansville. Tony was able to help them, walk them through what they needed to do with their credit bureaus. They're working with a mortgage lender that actually is able to rescore their credit once they started paying off some of their debts, to where we're at the point now today where their scores look like they're in line. We'll get confirmation next week. And then from there, they're ready to go. And they were able to attend the Fair Shot program that's hosted by Hope of Evansville. So you can actually turn $1,000 into $3,000, which is grant money that Hope of Evansville gives you by attending this financial literacy course. It's 2 days, 8 hours. I think that's worth your time. Great thing to go through, figure it out. I'm sure there's other nonprofits around the nation that do the exact same thing. Feel free to reach out to me and we can point you in the right direction. But the other part of this story, and I'll make it short and brief, is when they had questions and they had nowhere to go to, or they didn't know where to go to, they came and reached out to me. And then what happened from there, I pointed them in the right direction. If I didn't have an answer, I told them, hey, let me do some research. Let me figure out what's going on, and I'll get back to you. But they weren't afraid to reach out. And I know that's a trust thing, and building trust is huge, but there's times where you need to work with people that you don't know or trust and figure out where they actually take you. I know that's a big leap of faith. I know it is for me, but at the end of the day, there's got to be some way that you can take a step forward and see what happens and get in that uncomfortable position and work through it. And that's what they did. And that was so cool to see that. And we've built a relationship and a bond at this point to where I get to know them. They get to know me. They get to know TruVest, and they understand who we are. And now they're referring more people to us, which is even better because that's what we want to do. Help as many people as we can. But it took 5 months for them to get there. But there was a ton of months in front of that to where they were not ready to say, I'm coming to the table. I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to make a change. Until you get there, there's nobody in this world that can help you. You first have to take that first step towards the table to sit down and say, Ryan, I'm ready. What can we do? But then I'm going to put it back on you and ask you, what are we doing? And what's the first steps you're going to take? Because all we can do is support and help and guide. We can't do the work. You've got to do the work. So be on the lookout for subsequent videos. I know this week was short. I just wanted to keep it sweet, a little bit passionate about it this week, but I will shoot some more videos. We'll get onto that. Questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I'll see you guys on the other side. Have a great week.